Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Irish column for Sunday, the 2nd of March, 2025. My name is Paul Fitzsimons. I'm joined tonight by my co-host, Anthony Casey. Hello, Anthony. How are you?
Well, how are you doing, Paul? How's things? Another eventful week.
Jesus, has it been eventful? Wow.
Every fucking day.
Every day, yeah. If it's not, and then the political end of it too. We had Glenn leaving the Irish Freedom Party on Thursday evening, and Herman coming out with his bitchy tweet. And then yesterday we had the video of Herman saying this, that, and the other. And then there's Glenn releasing a video. And then there's the chairman resigned this morning. Like, so, wow, it's been eventful, all right, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's certainly is. And I seen the event. I don't know if you have any videos of the IFP did a bit of an event there the weekend.
Yeah.
But 10 or 12 people rocked up to it.
Yeah.
The person who called that, a guy called Reen, asked to speak at that event and was ignored by Heron. So then...
The guy who called it?
Yeah, so what happened there, right? There's a guy...
I thought it was a Freedom Party called it.
Well, there was a tagging of different leaders and party people. I got tagged, Herman got tagged, a few others. And so they jumped on it and they, set it up. But then it all became about... the HK show, I suppose you could say. And nobody else was listened to. So that's why a lot of people said, no, look, that's not all right.
Well, I'm going to tell you now for a fact, okay? I'm a member of a lot of groups which says no crowd in it. Okay, I really am. And I'm in these groups, you know what I mean? And from Thursday night, that one tweet must have lost him, I'd say 400 people going to that protest yesterday. That one tweet about Glenn. I'm being serious now. And, he just doesn't listen. You know what I mean? He doesn't listen. I advised him on a few things last year, and he didn't listen to me, and they've backfired since. So, listen, I've had it now. You know what I mean? I've nothing got to do with it now, so I don't care. You know what I mean?
It's almost as if they're trying to destroy the party. Wouldn't it seem that way?
Well, it looks that way. It certainly looks that way because, we went from being in September, October, we went from being the strongest nationalist party in the country to where we are now, where they are obsolete now, where they are, people won't even sit down and talk to the Irish Freedom Party now once Herman's in charge. And that's the problem here. You know what I mean? We saw this problem in November. We tried to sort it after the elections, and you've seen where it got us. You know what I mean? You've seen the ridicule we've got. We're vigilantes. We're all sorts now. And yes...
You know what's interesting about that, Paul? I'm a vigilante, for looking for patrols in local areas. Yet Herman Kelly goes on GB News last week and calls it's great for patrols.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Whatever gets a few views...
Yes, exactly.
I would say to people who still follow this, surely at this stage you can just go on to these guys, their Facebook or X feeds and just see for yourself. Just scroll down. It's fairly obvious who aren't for the cause here.
Exactly, it's true. Hi lads. Hi, how are you, Frank? How's everyone? How's things? I'll bring Orla up now just in a minute. Just let me bring Orla up. Hello, Orla. How are you?
Hi guys, how are you?
All right, Grant. Your screen is blurry.
Yeah, I'm going to check that on a second.
Yeah. No
Anthony
problem.
is right. It's too convenient for some regime for the far right to fracture apart right when the right is winning over on the West. You know what? This is what I saw. We were told Herman had certain people on. Cannon, the guy who told everyone to tool up, Ciara Connolly and people like this, and said maybe it's not right, and he just continued to do it. He was the one who stifled all the parties coming together. All the other parties will tell you that. And he worked off his own bat and put out this, that, and the other. And since I left the IFP, I haven't tried to air dirty laundry at all. I haven't even responded to fake videos of people I don't know with masks going up. And so the problem is that he's being found out now. I truly believe that these certain people are planted here. There was one planted in Sinn Féin. There's one planted to stifle anything that happens good in the movement.
Well,
there's one planted
the same
in
happened in
Space. There's all over the place. I've seen them all. I know exactly who they all are.
It's happening everywhere. It's everywhere. There's infiltrators everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, listen, we tried to set up Reclaim Ireland all them years ago, and we had an infiltrator in there that put a spanner in the works, and we weren't allowed to set it up, you know what I mean? Because he hadn't put the stuff in on time, and we found out afterwards he was Sinn Féin, ex-Sinn Féin or something like that. So, listen, they're everywhere, and you have to weed them out. That's the thing. You have to weed them out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
this is it.
this
is the lesson we're learning. They do more damage if you try to be the bigger person, and people say, don't take it privately. These people won't take it privately because that's their job, to air it out. And you're going to see there's a few videos here of one trying to attempt to dirty our name. You know, I've been called out all week online, and that's nothing new. You get a lot of that from lefties, but to get it from nationalists, you know,
so-called nationalists,
trying to dirty your name as the parties are going up. Anyway, these people won't pick the phone up to me, nor will they stand in front of me, and likewise any of us, because they don't do that. They're on X, they're on Twitter, they're on Facebook.
Yeah. I did have someone from the IFP reach out to me today, and listen, they told me that it's not good. You know what I mean? It's not good. You know what I mean? Like, but we called this. You know what I mean? I told, like, there's three of us sitting here. The three of us were involved in the meeting, along with a lot of other people as well, I might add. You know what I mean? Not just the three of us. And we spoke, and I told you exactly how this was going to play out. And here we are. Is this how it has played out? Like I said, I told you, you know what I mean? This is not, you know, this is the Herman Kelly show, you know what I mean? It's not freedom of the nation, you know? Sorry.
Yeah, and it is important to say that this fallout happened way before, you know, like I didn't raise my hand at the Ardèche last August. I already knew the party was going the wrong road. Like, you know, a lot of stuff has happened since then, sure. Then I was like, well, it's too late to walk away now. You know, we're in the general election. Let's wait till afterwards, whatever. But the closer you got, the more I saw that something is odd there, that there's people that are unmovable around this industry, around this network movement. And they all serve a purpose, but not for Ireland.
Yeah, I agree. I just need to put this on silent because I think Ryan is ringing me, but I can't talk to you now, mate. Well, yeah, it's just crazy, like, you know what I mean?
Silent, for fuck's sake, yeah.
We
do have a couple of guests coming in around 10 o'clock, but we do have a bit to get through as well. Well, just on this subject, there was a little bit of a fallout. So Glenn Moore, just talking about political news across Ireland at the moment. Yeah. The sitting councillor for the Irish Freedom Party has left the party. He resigned 4 days ago. And the chairman of the party resigned this morning. Now, the resignation of Glenn was as much like my resignation, where I was unhappy with the leadership of the party's direction, but more or less the same thing. Now, the reaction from Herman was similar to mine, I suppose, where he called out online, but this time he put a nasty message in front of everyone to see. But Glenn came back with a bit of a video of his own. Will we play that? Will we read that first? What was that comment?
I think we should. There it is there, Herman and Glenn. Let's just play this.
Yeah. He resigned for his own reasons. There was no political difference. It's a purely personal thing about his friend has gone off, joined another group, and he wants to follow her. That's fine. Political difference.
Now, you must be his friend, are you, Orla? Because it must be you that he's following. His friend has gone off.
Yes, I did message Glenn, and I told him I'm going to jump off a cliff soon. So I hope he's going to be there with me.
Come on, look, you know what I mean?
Glenn is a grown man. He can make his own decisions what he wants to do.
Yeah. But this is what happens. This is the shite that goes around Twitter and it's getting pushed out there, and people are asking you what happened here, and I heard this happened and I heard that happened. Anyone that was in Rosslare with me last Saturday heard what happened because I told them all the truth, and there was IFP members standing there as well when I told them the truth. So a lot of people found out the truth from me last Saturday. So who didn't know the truth? You know what I mean? Like, they all thought that we went their separate ways and we set up this political party and we set up Sinn Féin and a vigilante group, and whereas that's not what happened at all. Sinn Féin was already formed before we left the party. We sat in a room, in a room like this with 8 of us or 9 of us in that room, and we spoke about this a month before the election, and we were talked down, weren't we, Anthony? We were leaving the party.
I'll tell you
that's what happened.
More about this, right? So I obviously did the Sinn Féin video while I was with the Irish Freedom Party. You had the launch video, and there was just members of Sinn Féin. It was to be non-political, no leaders, nothing like that, but it was all community-based stuff. And right now we're doing a community patrol. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on in the show. But yeah, so this whole idea came up. Herman wasn't happy about it. He never said much to me about it, little slide remarks here and there. But I was to be disciplined when I went to, just before I went to leave, for being part of a political party called Sinn Féin and a vigilante group. Neither of which is true. I asked for any proof of both and it couldn't be shown. So it was nonsense stuff. I left because the party, a lot of the members were going to call a vote for no confidence. That motion was put to the board and it never got to the AC. And I realised there's too many people around Herman to allow that to happen. So I resigned to make something else. So now I have made it. And this is why all these people are coming out of the woodwork now. They're trying to slaughter our names. So none of it will work. But I will say there is people, talking about people around the movement, there was a nefarious individual who was in Sinn Féin who became kind of, in the beginning, a little bit bossy, and then we weren't sure what's up with him and all this kind of thing. Most likely, it seems like this man was a Garda informant, because there is someone across the movement who's seen him in the, in a Garda station. So this is what you have. You have, I believe, there's certain people planted around the movement. I believe that a few people we're talking about today are already, are these people. There are a lot of people who have to get hoodwinked across the movement, but it'll all come out in the wash anyway.
Yeah, it's true. But there's a lot of people carrying on the bullshit and, the crap from the election. Listen, and they will be taken down a peg or two. We actually have a video there we're going to show of them being called out now in a few minutes, so we'll play that in a few
Somebody
minutes.
asked there a question about Glenn. Just there a second ago.
Yes, Councillor
Glenn Moore is still a councillor, though, isn't he?
Yes, he is a councillor. Glenn has an open invitation to the column show and is welcome on at any stage. It's just sometimes on a Sunday evening he's other things on. But no, we're all still very good friends with Glenn, and he can come on at any stage.
Glenn gets the invite. Glenn gets the invite the same way as we all we send out invites to a few different people. Like, I'll send it out to Gavin now in about 10 minutes. I usually get started and then I'll send it out to people. I mean, sometimes it's fair. Yeah. And if the lads can come on, they will come on, and they always do come on when they can. You know what I mean? But everybody has a life now. We all have kids. We all have, and we all have to be doing our own things. You know what I mean? We can't be out protesting day and night. You know what I mean? But listen, we try. You know what I mean? But that's we send it out. Glenn has been sent out. That if Glenn wants to come on and talk, he's more than welcome to come on and talk, and he'll tell you himself what happens. But this has been festering for months now. You know what I mean? And we haven't said anything, but now we have. So that's what happened. End of story. You know what I mean? I'm not going to listen to any more crap online or anything like this. You know what I mean? Because it's bullshit.
And none of us will be threatened online either, because that was a huge mistake.
Yeah. Is Councillor Moore? Yeah, he is. Sorry, Cathy. Cathy Marie. Maybe 6 people left in IFP from what I've seen from the protests. Yeah, there was a lot of members didn't turn up. But as I said, that one post that we showed you there in that video, that was the one post that stunk the party. I'm telling you now. Like, they should have just said, "Thanks very much, Glenn. Thanks for all your support in the party." But no, you had to get in the little digs and the little You know, that's not how political parties work. Okay, that's just not how it happens. You know what I mean? Like you just, boy, cheerio, I'll see you. Thanks very much. Not they were setting up another party. Not that they were vigilantes. Not that Glenn was going to see his mate. You know, it's all bullshit. It's all disinformation. Like, you know what I mean? So now you have the truth, and that's what happened. Okay.
Damage control, you know, and there's people that are still there holding on for dear life, ringing around the movement. Don't trust Anthony Casey, and you know they're all in cahoots with Herman Kelly, trying to destroy something proper from starting up. If anyone wants to know of a real political party that's moving now, the Ireland First webpage is open for membership. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff, and there's going to be a Q&A very soon. We're going to be opening the floor in the Midlands to invite a public meeting of people to come along. There's going to be a lot of things happening, and it's all going to be for the nation of Ireland, all done the right way. I said this before, you know, proper policy. Even though I'm the party president, I won't be going off my own bat and doing stupid things. You know, that everything will be spoken about on an AC, and that's it. I'm only one piece of the puzzle. We're all pieces to this puzzle. So something good is coming. So get over to Ireland First, join up membership. It's going to be a good year.
Yeah, and you know something? Do you know what not the gas thing is, right? Us, like the few of us that left, there's not one of us attacking each other. We're all standing together. We all have each other's backs. Do you know?
Yeah. What's that? IFP can't be trusted. MP are too weird. An alternative for right-wing, middle-of-the-road nationalists. Yeah, Johnny, but that's what we're trying to put together here now. We're trying to get to Middle Earth or Middle Ireland, you know, and we're trying to get good people on board. You know what I mean? We don't. What did you say? Middle Earth, yeah, Middle Ireland. But you know, I'm a big fan, Lord of the Rings fan. You know what I mean? So yeah. But that's where we need to be getting now. We need to be getting candidates from different areas, like younger candidates even. You know what I mean, Anthony? I'm not saying kids, but I'm saying younger.
I have a couple of guys in their 20s, really good heads on them. Who,
that's what we need to be doing, pushing these young fellas. That's what we need to be doing, and pushing them into the community and getting them out walking in the community, getting people seeing who these kids are, and then
Paul, you instead, Paul, I'm not an alpha.
No, well, okay, no, I'm talking about you as well being pushed out into the community. I'm not talking about me. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I done it. I knocked at 6,000-7,000 houses the last time. It's hard out work. I'm being honest with you. And like, you're promised the sun, the moon, and the stars, and you still end up walking them streets on your own. Like, you know what I mean? There was only 1 or 2 days, or a couple of days, I had a couple of the lads with me, and then the girls from Coolock gave me a great dig out. I have to hand it. They were brilliant. Like, we knocked on a couple of $1,000 over them 2 nights, you know what I mean? It was brilliant. But it's a bit hard now, you know what I mean? I'd rather if we could get a young fella in the area with a good head on his shoulders, you know, whereas he has they can't throw shit up at him that, he has previous convictions for this shit and that shit, and a little squeaky clean young fella that we can push, you know what I mean? And a good young fella that'll push what we want, you know what I mean? Well, I'm not saying what we want, what he wants as well, you know what I mean? A good nationalist movement, that's what we need, and we need to be pushing them younger candidates. That's my 10 cents.
Yeah, and you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the Ireland First website. Anyone can go over. There's not a whole lot on it at the moment because it's a landing page, but there's a lot of good stuff coming.
Yeah, it's okay, Ken. Glenn is fine. He's grand. Him and Martin are very good friends.
Yeah, Liz, I'll be honest with you. All the fighting needs to stop. It's destroying the progress. That's why I follow different groups. Have no interest at the movement for protesting, as it isn't changing anything. I do agree with you, but I joined the Patriots of Ireland there a couple of weeks ago. A lot of the Says No groups are in it, and we called protest in Rosslare last week, and the guards put out a thing last week saying the protest was called off, and told the people of Rosslare the whole lot. Like, I knew people that were coming out from Rosslare, and they were told on Friday that was cancelled, and we ended up getting 60 people. Now, listen. 60 people done the same job as 1,000 people. I don't care what anyone says, you know what I mean? It was a bit disheartening. The lefties were all over it, but hey, that's going to happen. That's going to happen, like, you know what I mean? And then you had Herman's protest yesterday. So they're having a field day now, Ireland Against Fascism, and Charlotte, and that one in the wheelchair, the bleeding nun. They're all having a field day on it. You know, like, protests don't work unless you're going to shut down the whole country, and that's just That's my take on it. If you're going to do a protest, you need to do it right. You need to stop the port, the airport, train stations, everything. You stop everything at the one time. That's how you get this to stop. You know,
like the water, like remember the water charges. Like look at the thousands and thousands and thousands were out on the streets. Like that's what we need. There's no point in having a protest if there's like 80 people at it. Like, you know.
Someone just said they liked me mug. Do you see it there?
What's on your mug? Hold on, I have to look at the belly.
That's me and Shona, my eldest one.
Okay.
Baby. And I has on this side, best daddy ever. My daddy is the best. It's deadly. But when we move on there, Anthony, sorry, Ryan is at the same. Paul Fitz was called far right. And I'm right so far, Ryan, haven't I?
Well used to that, Ryan.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to, if she's on there, Davina, she is on. Davina, if you can get in contact with us on the number there, you know what I mean? I want to have a chat with you about, you're on to me all the time about USAID, and I think you would be a great candidate to dig into a bit of stuff there for me if you could. But if you can get in contact with me. I was only talking to someone this evening, I said I'd reach out to you, so I'm reaching out to you there now. So, Paul Herman has puppets squealing for him in some WhatsApp groups. One lad, Luke, in particular, yesterday. There you go. I didn't mention it, but listen, we've had our fair dealings with him as well. Did
you have a video of the outcome of that? I have it there. I'm not sure if you had it there, Paul.
Is this the James Conway one?
Yeah.
Hang on there. Have you put it up? Because I can save it here now and put it up.
Yeah, you save and put it up. I have put up Shane James's one. There was something there tonight about it, but that your mic crackling, is it? Maybe again.
Is it my mic crackling?
Yeah, there's a little bit of crackling. I don't know where it's coming from. So from you, Anthony?
No, it's
it's definitely Paul.
It's Paul, yeah.
Let me just grab this here because I've loads of videos here.
Do members of New Ireland First get membership cards? It's a good question. I'll check that out and come back to you. I'm a new member, so.
You'd have to be getting. You'd have to be getting new membership cards. Yeah, I still have me one there. Hey, listen, you never know.
See the page.
I haven't joined any party yet now. Sure, I could just move back into the IFP there now. You know what I mean, lads? If
I'll see the headlines tomorrow.
I still have my IFP membership as well. I still have it.
Yeah. No, I'm joking, lads. I'm joking. I'm done with
my mic loves it. There's my mic up to the max.
I'm with us now.
Yeah.
Well, here's what the outcome of this Luke thing was. Luke was in a group earlier on trying to give a bit of stick, and he was ran out of the group. So we'll just play this and come back.
Hello, everyone. Well, there was a bit of a disturbance on the Conway's Farm group tonight. A gentleman called Luke O'Connor accused two friends of mine of having an affair. And then when I rang him, he went on to tell me I was a shithouse and he'd bait me any time and all the rest of it. You know, I'm out on bail at the moment, but I'm itching for a fight. So Luke, we're going to have a charity boxing night. You choose the charity. I would recommend Rehab Care because you'll be fucking needing it. And I'm going to tag John Connors in this. He can referee. I'd be only delighted. We'll call it a right-wing fight night. All right? So you have all your little fucking insults thrown in this evening. You're going to do this, you're going to do that. You reckon I'll do fuck all. So let's have a good fight and let's do it for charity. I would recommend Rehab Care. Or some sort of charity that looks after you when you're bet like a fucking dog.
I voted for you, number one, Paul. Thank you very much. And your vote was much appreciated. Thank you very much, Bonzo. Good stuff, Davina.
A follow up to that was changed.
Jamesy, that seems like a great incentive. A great charity night. The right wing fight night for homeless charities in Ireland. You know, housing the Irish first. I'll call out Herman Kelly if he'd like to have a white collar boxing night. Or any other right-wing nationalist that would like to keep causing divide or accusing Sinn Féin of anything, you know. It's we the people, not you or I. And if it's for a charity like the homeless in Ireland, housing the Irish first, looking after the Irish first, that money would be well spent, wouldn't it?
Well done, Shane James. Good man. Yeah. I hope you're not sitting here waiting for me to call someone out now, are you? You can look right off. You know what I mean?
No, you're not backing out of this. Now, you told me, Paul, that you're going to challenge two people. No, you did, Paul. Now, come on now.
Was that with one arm behind me back? Was it? I was only doing two of them, was it?
Plenty of people to call out, unfortunately, but anyway.
Listen,
we'll see
there's a
where it
lot
goes.
of people I'd like to deal with it, you know what I mean? But hey, listen.
Anthony, there's a bit of a noise thing there to your mic.
Is there? Is it any better? I was told to hire it
Better
up and
now,
down.
yeah. Better
Back
now,
and
yeah.
lower down.
Yeah.
It is
Okay.
better,
Yeah.
But if anyone wants to contact us there, you contact us on 089 203 1521. And I have to say, a lot of
Here,
people are
Kathy,
contacting me on
Kathy will take them as well.
that.
Kathy will take you.
Kathy Hill.
Kathy.
Oh, Kathy, that was with us.
She used to be what I say, yeah.
Target a number of places at once. Yes, what I just said. Paul, if you target a number of places at once, cause havoc, do you think it will be the government that reacts or the people? Elections show nationalism is a minority. Will it be Irish against Irish? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think nationalism is a minority. People are just afraid to come out and help. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. The amount of pats on the back I get off people and people that weren't on my side 2 and 3 years ago, they're telling me now you were right, Paul. You know what I mean? You know, so, you know what I mean? Oh, what was that? Oh, Paul versus Fitz versus Herman. Listen, Paul versus Coiler. Jesus, there could be a load of them we could be thrown out there. Sure, how many people is fighting with me at this moment in time? You know what I mean? Should we have colleagues, Sean Crow? We could have any amount. Jesus, I'm going to be honest, I'd never get them all. I'd never get through them all in one night, lads. You know what I mean? I wouldn't. You know?
You'd be tired.
I'm good, not that good, you know? I'm good.
Oh.
You know, a few points, you never know. You know what I mean? A few whiskies.
Oh, yeah.
They'll give a whiskey to the Indians with me, I tell you. Oh, yeah. Fuck that. Excuse my French. Sorry, people, again. Lads, we're up to 700 there, and I have to say we're smashing it. Fair play to you. Keep sharing it out there. Share it with everyone because we need to get
Paul, we need to do a reminder over Wednesday for Gavin's protest.
Yeah, I have a video there. I'll do that now in a while. Paul Fitzsimons was a call on you, message. I know it was. I couldn't answer it, mate. I'm sorry about that. Scrap. What's this? NGOs. You're as bad as NGOs. Oh, let me in a party. Let me in a party and see how much money I can sponge off the Irish people. We don't need government anymore. It's finished. And who's sponging off the Irish people? Like, come on, lads. We haven't got a pot to piss in. Yeah, like, we haven't got a pot to piss in, like, lads. You know what I mean? Like, anything we've done, I'm going to be honest, people are under the illusion that you run for this and you make money.
By the way, here, Luke O'Connor has just said officially, me and James Conway have agreed to a boxing charity match in aid of cancer charity. Training starts tomorrow. I don't believe he took the bait there. Wow.
I don't.
Like,
where did he put that?
Twitter,
lovely. That was hilarious. Most of the call out I've ever seen. I know, you know what I mean, Johnny? Herman would have a head start, yeah. Well, myself and Herman would be the same age, but listen, I've no beef with Herman, to be honest with you. I've no beef for anyone, to be honest. If people have beef with me, well and good, but I have no beef for anyone. I never had. That's why people trust me so much in all the groups, because I've never had a bad word with any of them. And any of them that I have had a bad word with, I fell out with, and they're gone now. So, yeah. Herman does look his clobber. He loves his clobber. He got a new suit yesterday as well. Did you see that?
Yeah, it was green suit, instead of the blue.
Catty, oil fights. Paul, what's that WhatsApp group I was talking about last week where all the lies were told about you and Anto? That was Luke as well. I knew it was, yeah. He was spreading shit about funds going missing last summer. Bullshit. Yeah, it was bullshit, Ken. What happened was This all came out. We all spoke about this months ago on the show. I can probably send you back to the show. This was when we left, wasn't it? When all this shit kicked off, and he said about Martin with the money. But what he said was that Martin had did whatever it was. Martin sent me and Anthony 2 candidates on that money. That's what Martin did. Martin sent that. I think I got 55 and you got 60. Or something, Anthony, something to that effect. It was 115 quid. It's not as though there was thousands in it, lads. Come on. You know what I mean? But that was put into our campaign, and it was. Like, it was all put into the campaign. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
And it was interesting because what happened there was we went on an AC meeting, and be honest, a lot of people thought I had one of the better shots of getting in.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, there was people saying that, look, there's funding for the lads in Dublin. And
in Dublin, and we kicked up about it. Yeah.
And Louth. And I was like, why Dublin and Louth? You know, that's interesting. Why not any other county? Like, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why Martin said, you know what, that's not right. And there was a little bit of trying to stifle people's efforts from within, as far as I could see. But anyway, that's the way that all.
Well, I think as well, what had to do with it, I think as well, wasn't the treasurer after being changed or something like that, or lost or post or something like that, and the money would have been left in limbo there. That's why he sent it to us, I think. I think there was something like that as well, because I think Patrice had left the party at that stage. You know what I mean? I think she was only there till December or something like that. Do you remember? I think that's what happened as well. But listen, doesn't matter. That has all been sorted. But yeah, Ken, that's the lies that they've been pushing and peddling, like, you know, trying to goad us out. And if you look at any of my posts on Twitter or anything back to him, I'm courteous with him because you kill these people with kindness, you know what I mean? That's what you do, you know what I mean? When you're a clown, you're a clown, you know what I mean? You can't stop being
and
a clown.
I think, if I'm correct, we should be able to find it anyway. Didn't the chairman put out a statement in relation to Martin that was untrue?
Yes, he did.
He sent an email to Martin, and Martin has that email stating that was untrue.
Yeah, another thing as well. I mean, the chairman or the ex-chairman rang me and he said, Anthony, if you want me to release the official document to say that you resigned from the party and weren't booted out for any vigilantism, that's no problem. And I said, no. I said, every member of the AC seen my resignation. They're all CC'd. So let them throw their toys out of pram, you know?
Somebody's just saying, Orange Edition, come on, Paul, elections and protests show differently. Just because a couple of people say they support you doesn't mean the country does. Okay, I get that. Yeah, I do get that. You know what I mean? But, you know, do you want these migrant centres in your area, Orange Edition? Are you okay with that? You know, because I'm not okay with that. And the majority of the people that stand with me are not okay with that. But if you're okay with that, well then what? Does that make everything okay then? Just because you're okay with it? Like, there's none in Fox Rock. There's none anywhere out there in the posh areas. They're all in our areas, in underprivileged areas. So come back in and tell me, are you okay with the mass plantation of this country? You know, and then we'll see. Lorraine O'Sullivan. Luke is a brave man. I'll give him that. He sure is. He sure is. Or else Dutch Gold is on special in Aldi this week, you know what I mean? And he's at the getting his supply. He's at the getting his social early or something like that. You know, yeah. Hey, if you know that. But Paul Simons is just setting up a channel on my channel on Facebook. Okay, if I can help you tomorrow, I will. I used to teach preschool, so more maturity in the playground and all the big men wanting to fight. I will take them all on after I finish it off the game. You're all right. I'm staying well back. Don't put me in there with Adele Gillick. You're all right. That's grand. You know, no problem, Adele. But listen, if this is how the men want to sort it out, Adele, there's nothing we can really do about it. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? So,
Anthony,
like, it's all great standing. It's all great sitting online slagging people off. You know what I mean? And listen, push comes to shove. Let's see. You know.
Anthony, what was said about you? About this boxing match? What was said?
The boxing match? Nothing was said about
it. Yeah, no, what was put up? Like, what was said about you?
By Luke?
Yeah.
Oh,
you just said something.
Nonsense.
You just said something went up there.
Oh no, that's the video.
Oh no,
The
just
video.
Luke saying that he
Yeah.
just announcing that he's doing a boxing fight with James Conway
Yeah.
on Twitter.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was against you.
No.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry. Just the way it was described.
Lads
Do you
are
know?
flying it there. Have we? Do you know what I wanted to just talk about? I wanted to talk about. Have you seen what's going on in Ukraine? The way they're taking the kids off the street and everything.
Yeah, I saw
You know what I
that.
mean?
Was it some young lad?
Like anyone who is condoning this war in Ukraine, like, needs to look at this shit. Like, these kids are getting taken off the street. I'll play this video and we'll come back. Like, there's actually two of them. I'll play this one first. Like, this young fella is out walking his dog. Look, Jesus Christ, man, that's just. Sorry, didn't said that. Oh my God. Now, you support that war in Ukraine. You support that. That is disgraceful.
That one I didn't see. I saw the other one. I think the mother was around trying to stop it as well.
This one here, I'm going to play this one here now. Somebody just asked there, I think the question was missed. Anthony, what's the party stance on EU membership?
The EU membership.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, as the new parties, there's still a lot being drawn up on it, but it's Eurosceptic. You know, the EU rule. The Irish government, they're just puppets to the EU and the UN and all of these people here. You know, I seen today the Irish Times are putting up that Ireland are purchasing fighter jets, and that the naval base will now be called the Navy, and everything's being rearranged. When America pull out of Ukraine, this is opportunity for the UN to go in, and then guess who they'll be looking to fight that war?
Exactly.
Some people say maybe it'll be the guys inside these camps. Some people say it'll be you and me. Who knows? I'm not fighting for someone else's war. Ireland should have kept its neutrality, and you have Simon Harris who did that. That's what he's doing right now, and that's why they've been shouting out from the rooftops, "We're all Palestinians, and you know we stand with Ukraine." And even though we're neutral, and everyone's kind of saying, "Well, here's your brainwashed propaganda, so that you'll go out and be a Palestinian," while we roll out the plan that we want to roll out. So we've enough stuff to be fighting here in our country. Our country's decimated. So let's
and you
focus.
have to remember as well, Anthony, our army at the moment is peacekeeping, not peace enforcing. So even the lads, you know what I mean? They've never fought in an actual war. You know, my husband was in the army for 21 years. He only retired there a few years ago. You know, and he's been on 3 missions abroad. And like it's all peacekeeping. It's not peace enforcement. That is completely different. Like, how are our Irishmen, even the ones in the army, supposed to go into something like that when they've never had to deal with that before?
Yeah.
Never mind our own children. My son is 23. Over my dead body are they bringing him into a war?
Yeah.
Well, I've three now. I've three young kids, like, so it'll be them that'll be going in, you know what I mean? And I don't want that crap, you know what I mean? No, I don't, as much as I don't want them going to Australia and leaving us, you know, I'd rather see them doing that than going to war, you know?
And you have to remember as well, all this stuff now about this gender neutral and all this other stuff now, it won't be just the boys. They'll be sending the girls as well, because it's all equality now.
Well, you can see, like, 2 days, if anyone looks up Irish Times fighter jets, you'll see the Irish Times from 2 days ago. Costing sought for massive expansion of Irish military, including purchase of fighter jets. And then 1 day ago, the Irish Times planned to base combat jets at Shannon Airport at an annual cost of €100 million.
Wow.
And people will just sleep, pick up the paper, read it, put it back down again, go back to work, watch Netflix.
They're not getting it, Anthony. This is the problem. They're not realising. Do you know what I mean?
They're not realising anything, you know.
Like, are they going to be happy when their children are sent home in body bags? Because that's what's coming.
This is it. That is what's coming. I don't know. Like, you're trying to shout out to these people and they're not listening. Haven't been listening for 5 years, Orla.
Yeah, I know. I'm sick of it.
There you have it. There it is there. I'll just make it bigger there if you want. And we can... Plans to base combat jets at Shannon Airport at an annual cost of €100 million. Simon Harris says he's convinced of need to acquire combat jet aircraft to deter and detect airborne threats as part of a massive increase in defending. Why do we need that if we're a neutral country? It's because they have signed us up to this shit. You know what I mean? And while I'm talking about that now, I'll bring someone on now, because Tom actually done a video earlier, Tom McDonald, and so did the other guy. I'll play them now in a minute. The government's planned acquisition of combat jets cost between 60 and 100 million a year, according to preliminary analysis. Like, if we were in government, we'd have to, like, Anthony, we'd have to, the spend and the budget for the military would have to go through the roof. Like, we have to have a better military here. We have to have more military. You know, I think it's that kids should go into the military, but not, go into the military, but not for fighting wars like theirs. You know what I mean? I think they should do probably 2 years, you know what I mean, or 3 years, just to, you know, I think everyone needs a bit of discipline, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that would be my take on that now. I wouldn't mind them going into the army, but not getting sent all around the world, you know what I mean, to fight someone else's army, you know?
Yeah. A war that has nothing got to do with us.
Exactly. Now you have it. You know what I mean? None of these wars have anything to do with us. We can do nothing in Palestine. We can do nothing in Ukraine. We can do nothing anywhere, you know?
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy.
Like, it's not even funny, like, you know, and I put it up several times on Facebook about it as well, and like, are you waking people up? I don't know. But I will say this now, actually, I was out doing a charity event thing yesterday for throat cancer. And a friend of mine came over to me, she sat me and she came over to me and she gave me a hug and all this, and she was just sympathising me over my mother dying. And she just said, like, you know, she said, fair play to you for all the stuff you're putting out there. And I was like, oh, right. And I said, oh, look, I'm only just trying my best to call out the government and stuff and all this. I said, look, I don't know if people are listening. And she says, well, I'm seeing everything you're putting out. And you know what's interesting over it? She doesn't like my stuff, as in acknowledge it, but she's seeing it.
Yeah.
So I think it just goes to show how many people are seeing our stuff without us realising. There's a lot of people out there who don't want to be seen liking something, you know, but they're still seeing it, you know? Because there is sometimes you feel like you're banging your head against a wall.
Paul, you go to prison or conscripts? What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean.
If you don't conscript, yeah, in some countries, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. No. Don't want to go to prison either, like, you know what I mean? But I just think it'd be a good thing to get kids, you know, into the army. You know, I just do. Like, kids have lost all respect for everything nowadays.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? They really have, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I was probably a little bollocks when I was younger, like, you know what I mean? But I had respect for old people, and, you know, like, there's none of that now, you know? It's, like, even our own kids now, I'm not saying my kids, but I'm saying Irish kids in general, They just have no respect for anybody, like, you know what I mean? It's
I
really,
know. Yeah, I know.
you know, it's gone wrong, you know what I mean? So I just think we need to get a bit
There's
of
very
respect.
few people have respect for anyone out there anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's just like we all grew up where, like, you know, as you said yourself, with elderly and all that, you know, you were respectful towards them. You held the door open and you never said anything against them and things like that, you know, but times have changed, you know?
Yeah, it has really changed, yeah. Really has. But yeah, listen, I wouldn't mind it, you know what I mean? I'm being honest with you. I wouldn't mind my kids going in.
But there's some countries out there that you have to do a certain amount. Isn't it like a year or two or something like that?
No, well, in Turkey they have to do it because that's what they have to do. And what happens is in Turkey, they don't register the babies until they're 5 or 6. So as they're 21, 22 going into the army. They're not kids, you know what I mean? That's what they do, you know?
Jesus. God.
Yeah. I have to give me a head a wobble. Yeah, was that age of Paul talking about kids 2 to 3 years in the army but not going to war? Will you give me a head a wobble? Yeah, I don't want my kids going to war. Like, we don't go to war. We're in a neutral country. I'm sorry about that if you can't grasp that. So, yeah.
Just see James Conway, so he put up there, Luke O'Connor messaged him and said, yeah, 8 weeks time, sounds good. He's cozying up to him there now. Sounds like he's kind of like, oh, that'd be great. My dad died of cancer, so it'll be a really good thing, you know.
Yeah, brilliant.
I'd say he's realising that Conway's significantly bigger than him.
Yeah.
Would really be a fair way in now.
Has he met James? James has bleeding hands. Like, hey, listen, he's their own. You know, he thinks he can take it. Well and good.
Can we talk a little bit about do you want to do a video or two before I do talk about the community patrols and then bring in people?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, we will. Let me see what I have here.
Yeah.
I'm going to play, listen.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have a couple of guests coming on, but I'm going to just play Trump from the other night. It's only a minute and a half, so this was epic. This was just amazing.
Thank you, Mr. President. Prime Minister Starmer claimed repeatedly that his government believes in free speech and was not engaged in censorship. But his country's government arrests people for memes and thought crimes, and even more worrisome is pressuring American companies to censor Americans on its behalf. How can he be a reliable, trustworthy partner when he says things that are demonstrably false on such an important topic?
Well, we actually spoke to him about that yesterday, and we thought they took it very, very much too far. JD was very strong on it. So was I. So was Marco, and we've been speaking to him about it. Marco, would you like to say something about it?
We have concerns, obviously, with the conduct of various, particularly as it impacts Americans. And there's real concern that American speech, which is online, could fall into the hands of British or any country's jurisdiction. And so this is a point the Vice President made at Munich, and I think it's a very compelling one, that what unites us with Europe, as much as anything else, is these shared values, and one of them being free speech. And so if Americans are threatened by it, we're going to need to take action in that regard.
It's actually a very important question.
We spoke about this in detail with the Prime Minister, the Foreign Secretary, and others at lunch yesterday, and I know that Secretary of Commerce Lutnick followed up in private meetings last night. This is really important. We believe Americans have the right to speak their mind, even if we in this room disagree with them. They have the right to speak their mind in the public square, which is often online these days. And we're going to defend that right as it pertains to American companies and American citizens vigorously if we have to. I do think that under the President's leadership, we're going to find common ground with our friends in the UK on this question, but it remains to be seen. The principle that will guide us is we believe in free speech in this country, and we'll fight for it for American citizens.
Mr. President.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was the Trump one taking down Zelensky, but it wasn't. It was even better again. It was them taking down this bullshit of the free speech. You know, Starmer has arrested people and locked people up for years on end here now, you know, the last 6 months. Like, and these are calling them out. That's what you need to do. And you need them getting in here and calling out what's going on here in Ireland as well, you know. Like, Fair got a follow last week off General Mike Flynn. You know General Mike Flynn? One of Trump's men. Yeah, General Mike Flynn. Yeah. That's the one. He threw him out of, like, Biden and all got rid of him and said he was part of Russiagate and all that shit. And it turned out to be not true, you know. But Trump, they are really starting to They are really starting to do it. But Elon Musk, I'm just going to go with more. I'll tell you where I'm going to go. I'm going to go with Irish Doge. Okay, so this is the Nick Delahanty just talking about this, that we already have an Irish Doge and it's gone now.
So everyone's talking about Elon Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency, so much so that calls for an Irish Doge are getting louder. The truth is, we already had one, and it was called Benefax. But the problem was it worked too well, so they shut it down. Every year, the Irish government pours about 20 billion euros into non-profits. But where does it go? Who gets what? How much? Before Benefax, nobody knew, not even the government. And one woman changed everything.
Organisation Benefax has built the first ever comprehensive database of Irish non-profit organisations. I have a background in public service. I was involved in the Temple Bar project, and I was also involved in the Arts Council for many.
With funding from the government and philanthropists, Patricia Quinn built a national non-profit database, something Ireland had never seen before. Every non-profit, every grant, every board member were included. No secrets, just data. And this is when things start to get interesting. First, Benefax was a win for everyone. The government finally had a clear picture of their funding, journalists were able to follow the money, and the public had transparency. But it started to work too well. By organising all this data, Benefax was actually inadvertently exposing high levels of waste. NGOs were getting multiple types of grants from different departments of government. It really hit the fan in 2020 when Benefax released their state funding directory. This was its most powerful tool yet. It was a real-time searchable database of every cent of government money going to non-profits. For the first time ever, anyone could see how public funds were being distributed. Months later, Benefax was shut down. The official excuse given by the government was that Benefax was not worth the money and that it could do it itself in-house. Except for it never actually provided a replacement, and the cost of Benefax was less than 0.001% of the total spend on non-profits. This was not about cost. This was about control.
In short, Minister, Benefax allowed people that used it to follow the money. And now, without warning, the department pulled the plug and has spent $250,000 shutting it down, having spent $6 million of public money setting it up. Its funding has been scrapped, the not-for-profit company has been wound up, its employees have been made redundant, and the website is no longer available. This despite a report commissioned by your department, by Indicon, stating that the benefits of Benefax exceeded its costs. They also said that scrapping the service, and I quote, would reduce information which is needed for effective governance.
The government gave long-winded answers about procurement and costs, but the simple answer is Benefax exposed too much. We should be extremely concerned that these organisations, while claiming independence, actually operate under significant government control and influence, blurring the lines between public bodies and the private sector. In fact, I'm actually not totally clear on who's leading who. I'd argue it's the NGOs leading government and not the other way around. But the fact of the matter is, this is all our money. We must demand transparency in how our taxes are spent. We need to resurrect Benefax, to create a replacement. We cannot continue in this path of providing a loud, popular opposition without a clear picture of what's actually happening. So what we need to do is we need to grab a team, organise a team, and arrange funding, and we need to resurrect Benefax. This needs to happen. If we're to change anything in this country, this is the first thing we need to do.
Yeah, Nick's usually on the money, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is.
It's good.
Really is.
Paul, do you mind if I shift to the community groups real quick? Because this is going to be a big thing.
Walk away. Yeah, walk away.
At the moment, I don't know if I'm speaking, and can I play a video as well? So basically, I'll tell you what, there's a video of me talking about what is needed for about a minute long, and I'll play a video of what's set up so far.
Is it here, Shinadina Community Bid, is that it?
Yeah, that's it there, yeah.
Okay, we play that, will I?
Yeah, play that and then we'll show a video on it.
Okay, no problem.
All across the country of Ireland right now, things have changed. The demographics have changed. The crime has gone through the roof. The Irish government are complicit with human trafficking. Your local tradesmen have become profiteers. Our towns and our streets have been destroyed. People are afraid to walk down their laneways. People are afraid to go to the shops. People are afraid to go to sleep at night. That's the truth. There's stabbings, there's rapes, there's kidnappings, and a lot of it the mainstream media won't tell you about. At Shinadina, we've set up a WhatsApp group for every county in the country. What this will start is people coming together once, twice, 3 times a week to patrol their local areas, to call in to that afraid and lonely neighbour. Unfortunately, a lot of people would rather wait until it lands on their doorstep before they act. But luckily, not everyone's willing to take that risk. So, if you want to do something, be part of the solution, be proactive, join your local area WhatsApp group, because the Guardians of Peace won't do it for you.
So I don't know if anyone can see what this is about. So I've often talked about the crime high in my county. It's everywhere. It's really everywhere. I've seen it in a few different cities.
Can you not share your screen there, no?
Don't know. I'm here. I'll play. Basically, what it is we set up. And if you go to Shinadine.ie, you'll find the patrols, and you can click into your county, and you'll be brought to a WhatsApp group, and you can pick what county you're in. And Dublin's set up north and south, but in Limerick next Friday we'll be launching the first one of these patrols. So at 7 p.m. next Friday in Limerick, we'll all get together, high vises. This will be the template for what's going on, for what we're going to do. So you can see here. So people go into that. Yeah, so people go into that. And what they do is, look, this isn't a safe country anymore. That's the truth of it. These people are being brought in. The guards are complicit. The government officials are complicit. All your local contractors are complicit with all this. So what we will do is what we're going to set up is a couple of the patrols a week. People will be going around, and yeah, so that's it. We'll look after our own. We'll look after our neighbours. No one will be left behind. Bring a bit of presence back. We'll monitor the streets. So, jump into your group and we'll see. Put it all in. Thugs.
Well,
certainly not thugs. The thugs, unfortunately, are in the government. That's where they are. The thugs are stealing drugs out of lockers. The thugs are complicit with all of this. The crime is through the roof, not because of these patrol groups, because of what's being allowed to happen in this country. This country is being destroyed and decimated. So we're the people putting it right.
Yeah, it's true. Like the lads are doing it on the street now, and they're getting in town. That I'll be honest, I don't agree with the live TikToks now. Like if you're gonna do it, just do it. You know what I mean? And like video if you want a video of it, but like the live things, then the guards know where they are, and the guards are harassing them, and there's an argument with the guards. Like the less interaction with the guards, the better here. You know what I mean? Listen, you're doing it because there's no guards there. Yes, the lads in town are doing it, and there's 6 and 8 guards following them around. Like, you know what I mean? Where's there's no logic in that. You know what I mean? Just stop and let the 6 or 8 guards do the job. You know what I mean? They're there, let them do it. You know what I mean? There's no need for you to be there if they're there, you know?
Look, everyone should go into their WhatsApp group. You'll find it if you go onto my TikTok or if you go onto the Shinadine.ie. Now, there's a lot of the Leinster ones up. The rest will be up there. But I can message me. I've been sending these things all week. I'll guide you to your group. What will happen is you'll do a 10-second video, 15-second video to the admin of that group, just saying who you are to protect you and everyone else in there. And that's it. Turn up on Friday in Limerick, because it'll be very important. This will show the template so everyone can go away from Limerick knowing what to do in their local area. And we'll get to you if we can as well with the high visits to Shinadine badges. There'll be no fighting. There'll be no arguing with people on the street, because they will set up this kind of thing. What's the crack from Belfast? Yeah, if you're asking, there's one in Belfast as well set up. So, so the first one next Friday, hopefully get a bit of the coverage. Everyone come out there, support it. There'll be a bit of footage being done. I think Irish Colin might be there, Paul. Hopefully, we'll get a bit of footage there, a few interviews. And that's it. There's nothing scary about it. There'll be old women there. There'll be young men there. This is a WhatsApp group that if someone was alone and vulnerable, 2 people can drop by them for a cup of tea or help them walk up the alleyway, the dangerous alleyway that's getting a bit more tricky lately because of the demographics. So they're not doing it. They're not helping us. They're not helping us out there. So we need to do it ourselves. This is part of that separate society that's going to come after the crash. So this is part of James Conway's thing too. We're going to network among ourselves and look after our own.
Yeah, and the hell with the begrudgers. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. You don't want to get on board, stay out. You know what I mean? It's no good coming in here just to score shy.
in fact, if people are interested, I'm going to put a link into the comments here. People can go on, they can join their one, and like that, people will ask for a few seconds of a video. You'll be sending that directly to an admin, one person, just explain who you are and where you're from, and then we'll make a plan to set up your patrol in your area. So I'll put that into the comments there. Everyone will get to see it.
There you go. Absolutely, Anthony. Lads must keep cool heads and be totally clean. No drink, no slips, no fighting, no arguing, nothing they can slander us with. That's exactly what I just said a couple of minutes ago, Johnny. Fair play to you. Yeah, you're right. You're right on the money there. You know what I mean? Like, there's no point in doing these live streams and arguing with guards, and like, honestly, that's what Middle Ireland are seeing this, but Middle Ireland is seeing this and they're going, look, and I'm being honest with you, look at them scumbags. That's what they're saying. And this is people that I've been speaking to. I said, the lads are doing all right, you know what I mean? And I was bigging them up, you know what I mean? And he said, the lads are scumbags, they're doing this. I said, come on, you know what I mean? They're only trying to do whatever. But a lot of people do think that, you know what I mean? Me, I don't. I like the two guys, you know what I mean? I really do, you know what I mean? They're doing grand work, but I don't think...
What two guys you talking about, Paul?
Paul and Tinker, I think it is. That's what somebody put in scumbag there, Paul and Tinker. In there a few minutes ago, and I like them, you know. I get on well with them, but they're good, they're all right, you know what I mean? They can't be a bit argumentative, but hey, can't we all? But I just wish that they didn't live stream it, you know what I mean? Because no, it doesn't look good. I don't think it's a good look, you know what I mean? I really don't, you know. That's just my opinion. So, you know what I mean? The same way as you're not going to live stream Shinladina, people are just going to know you're in the area, you know what I mean? And that's it, end of story, you know?
Yeah, look, what it's going to be is there's not going to be a big, that's the link if anyone wants to go into it. There won't be a lot of people chatting. If you have a concern, you put it straight to the admin. It won't be another WhatsApp group wrecking your phone out of it. There'll only be things put in about the patrol or about someone who something's that they're happening to in the local area. They could do with a visit from whatever. They're getting harassed or their car might be broken down, whatever it is. We're just looking after our own, and part of that will be patrols, and will be maybe walking kids home from school if something's going on there, whatever it is. All these people, there'll be just a way of. We have a massive influx of people in our streets now. That's just the reality of it, and with more people comes more crime. That's the end of it. So the guards are leaving the force in flocks. So what are you going to do about it? We have to do what we have. We have to do it. You know. So that's what we're doing. So everyone, if they can. Join your local link, but also listen to the announcements next Friday if you can get there for 7 o'clock in Limerick. I have two people coming on from Limerick here now to talk about how Limerick is going. I'll give them a message here now. Like we need this to happen.
Yeah. Before you give them the message there, can I just share this? Someone's at the sending it to me there. Share, there it is there. Far-right politician who spread false gang rape story online faces prosecution. Have you seen this, Anthony?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. A far-right leader who is under criminal investigation. Shit. Sorry.
Oh, Debbie McCann.
Yeah, but he was gang raped by a group of Roman men. This is what they're saying. The move to prosecute Ireland Force Chair Derek Loy signals the forced move by Gardaí to clamp down on the widespread disinformation peddled by well-known far-right agitators online. It comes as senior sources this week revealed Gardaí are being flooded with referrals about potential breaches of the new EU Digital Services Act, whose main goal is to combat illegal and harmful activities online and the spread of disinformation. In recent months, Gardaí have been forced to issue several misinformation notices after false claims were made by far-right provocateurs online. Like Derek said, allegedly, he didn't say, you know, and he did. I listened to it over and over again. You know, he said he allegedly, there, look, one of these notices was published the day after Derek Loy posted it on social media. A 15 boy was allegedly gang raped by a group of Roman gypsy men in Ballahadreen. You know, I remember that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'll stop sharing that now. But as I said, I get that out there, you know, just so as we could. Yeah, we need a professional team to govern Ireland totally accountable. Yes, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think Jerry is on the bottom there, is he?
Yeah, Jer. How you doing, Jer? You're on mute
I'll
there.
drop down.
Oh, yeah.
You can drop me
I'll
down
drop
as well.
down, and Orla will drop down, and you can come in and chat to Jer. Sorry, Jer, I just got rid of you there for a minute. If you turn your phone sideways, you'll get a wide angle. Try it. No, he can't. He's had to hitting the power button or something, like, you know what I mean?
He dropped it into his point. You know what? I'll play a video of Jer while he's trying to come back on.
Here he is.
Him interviewing. Oh, yeah.
Here he is now.
I leave it like this.
You're all right. You're all right. Go on. I'll drop down. Anthony, you walk away there, brother.
How you doing, Jer? Good to see you.
Well, I was waiting patiently.
Yeah, no, fair play to you. Jer, I know you do a bit with the homeless there in Limerick. Do you want to talk a bit about that, when you do it and where you do it? We have an interview from you speaking to a homeless man there. I'll play in a second. And Sean's here as well. How are you, Sean?
Good, how are you, lads?
Good. Yeah, Jer.
So I run about, down in Limerick, Irish Lives Matter, homeless outreach. I say we've been doing it about the last 6 or 7 months now, and it's grown. It's grown. We see an awful lot of more homeless people coming to use our service down there. So how I said, was part of a group protesting with the iPass centres and stuff that was coming into Limerick, and I kind of seen the kind of failure that our own people were facing on the streets. I have friends, homeless friends on the streets. They're in addiction and coming up to jail. No help from them at all. No help from whatsoever. And then I just seen all these iPass centres being shut up with no problem at all, breaking laws even to put them up. And down in Limerick, it was sad. So I just said, I'm not going to be one of these people that are going to be vocal and not go take action. So I decided to get the table together. I put up a few statuses on Facebook looking for help and saying what we've done. And loads of volunteers came, reached out, and we have a couple of organisations helped us, but there's a few kind of backed off due to them. Because of Irish Lives Matters, loads of organisations and people decided not to help us because it was racist and it wasn't including other nationalities and stuff. But the whole reason I set it up was for our own people, because people coming to our country were getting the help. So
yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing, Jerry. Like you're saying there that there's an influx of housing of these lads coming into the country, and yet our homeless is going up and up and up, and they're being completely forgotten about.
It is. Even at the table now, even at our table there, we have, our table, we don't care about skin colour or anything like that. If you're homeless and hungry, we'll feed you. But our service was mainly for the Irish people. And it's kind of, we started seeing lately the local lads not coming to the table because we have migrants coming, and sometimes they're being aggressive and stuff like that. Not putting for our local lads in Limerick. So
yeah,
I think this is where the Shannon Dean thing comes in as well. When we have kind of bad behaviours around.
That's it. Like it's just a presence, really, isn't it? But in fairness to lads like yourself, and I have a video there. I'll play a few minutes of your video, Jerry. You were speaking to one of the homeless people that go to your run there. I'll play it here and we'll come back and talk a little bit about it.
Hi, Yui. This is Yui. Alright? Yui comes to our table Fridays and Saturdays. Okay, Yui, we're going to ask you a question. Can you just say we get permission to be recorded? 100%. Okay. Our service, Irish Lives Matter, can you tell us?
It's been so safe and so beautiful for so many people to be able to come to get something to eat when there was no other availability for it to happen. And that's a fact. My name is Hugh McGrath. I was born on the 24th of the 4th, 1984, and I swear to God, these people are going out of their way to do this. Don't ever let them down.
Can you? Okay, another question, Louise. All right. the government, all right? Do you feel that the government is after failing you?
We have no availability in hostels. No, literally. They took over the Perry Hotel up the road here.
That's
Limerick.
the Perry Hotel is where the Ukrainians are still.
The full hotel, it's a 200-room hotel, and there isn't a single Irish person inside.
And do you feel let down that you have to come here to the table while there's hotels being full?
I'm sorry, I'll contradict you there. I don't mean to be rude.
Yeah.
I don't feel let down because at least the guys go out of their way to help us.
Yeah, but do you feel let down with the government that you have to come down? You have to come to homeless tables, and migrants have been put into hotel.
That ship has sailed.
Yeah.
That ship has sailed.
So yeah.
That ship has sailed. Man, only for the likes of St. Vincent de Paul, you might be lucky, you might get a sleeping bag. St. Vincent de Paul, you might get you'd be lucky if they have them in stock, you'll get a tent. Some beautiful things like that. You'll always get good, you'll always get a lovely cup of tea, a lovely cup of coffee, and only for gentlemen like yourselves that are doing this, we'd be fucked.
Do you feel
we'd be fucked?
Yeah.
Irish citizens would be fucked.
Can I ask
you? For swearing. I don't mean
all right, you're all good,
sorry.
all good, all good.
Can I ask you, all right, you come here, all right, but you're born
I'm
in
not
Ireland.
come here, man. I'm born and bred in Limerick.
Yeah, but can I just ask, do you...
Sorry for swearing. Sorry about that.
Can you see, with services here in St. Vincent de Paul, the soup kitchen, can you see that there's a number growing with migrants? Yeah.
Literally. Imagine what would you call it? Sorry, 1 second. When you were a kid, you could run the slide and the in the pool.
Yeah.
The slide's going upwards.
Yeah.
At this stage, it's not going downwards. It's going straight up. Like.
Yeah.
That's the way it's going. Like.
So, but you feel that the Irish people are being overlooked at the table?
Can I say something to you without being a nuisance? No, 1 second. Calm a second.
Yeah.
Chill, bro. I'm not being rude. I want to ask you something.
Okay.
Look.
Yeah.
Look.
Buildings, all buildings.
Look.
Full of empty buildings.
Look.
Yeah. Empty buildings everywhere.
Dude, if they would be willing to open the door, give me a key. I'm not probably.
That's one of the guys that goes to your yeah,
that's,
you can hear me there.
Yeah, that's Huey. He when he gets attacked an awful lot, a few tents and sleeping bags and numbers of times, and they've been taken off. And it's sad really. We have it's grown. You can see the homeless situation in Limerick growing. An awful lot of, we have 4 iPad centres being placed in Limerick City. We have, and outside 2 of them, there's one in William Street, and we have our own lads with cups sitting outside the iPad centres, tapping for money, hungry, nowhere to go. And you have people going in them doors, warm, fed, whatever. It's just not right. And it's us, the likes of us, Tim, that has to volunteer and pick up the mess that the government are doing, and we're getting no back. And we've reached out now to the numerous Limerick PDs, and they've ignored us. They can't help us because Irish Lives Matters is our name, and it's a joke.
Yeah, corrupt to the core. They're ignoring the fact that we have a record number of homelessness in this country, and that the Irish citizen that have nothing in their pocket have to foot the bill to help these people out.
Exactly. Like there's a thing in Limerick. They're labelling our own people. Like in Limerick, the County Council and the Garda set up this initiative to sweep up the streets. That is just when we have the tappers on the street, guards come remove them. So this is the new thing that they set up called the sweep up the streets. Like if our own is a bit of dirt or something, labelling them when they start like it should be helping these people, not kind of giving them labels and stuff like that. It's sad. It's sad.
It is, and Limerick, I've seen myself. It's gotten way more dangerous even. And Sean, I'll bring you in here now. How are you doing, Sean? And because Ger, I'd say you know about this story as well. Sean, you have a bit of a story to tell us about something that happened to your wife recently in Limerick.
Yeah, so obviously, like a lot of people from Limerick would know this story because just because my wife would be a well-known person in the city. Limerick is a small city at the end of the day. Everyone knows everyone that goes around. And if you don't know someone, you know someone's face. But what happened was I left my wife on a night out. We were out with a couple of lads from work, and my young fella had a match the next day. And I like to get him a bed at a reasonable time, you might as well say, because obviously it was a big match. So she's walking down the street. She went to come home at 1 o'clock. She left about 1 o'clock anyway. She's walking down the street, and someone approached her. The guy that approached her was with another guy and another girl. So he said something to her, and she kind of looked back and kind of just told him, "Go away." So next minute he's ran up into her face, and he started squaring up to her, putting his head into her chin. So she's like, "What are you doing?" and kind of pushed him on the shoulder. So then he decided to spit in her face. And when he spat in her face, she said it was just a reaction to slap him. You know, and like, to be honest, in my book, spitting is probably one of the worst things you can do to anyone. So she's kind of gave him a slap. So he bit a glass off her head. And it wasn't like a pint glass. It was one of them shot glasses, you know, with the crystal ends, you know, the really hard bottom ends. And it completely split her wide open on top of her forehead. And she said, like, I put my hand on my head because I felt the blood. So she dropped her guard. And as she dropped her guard, he then decided to punch her into the mouth. And she said, he kind of stunned me a small bit and I kind of fell over into the ground. No, for me personally, like, you know, Limerick, like I've been living in Limerick 25 years now. My father's family's from Limerick. My nana's still alive. She's over 100 and she's from Limerick. And, you know, for people to turn around and say the streets of Limerick are not safe no more, it drives me insane. You know, like, because these streets were never not safe, you know. I've always been able to walk home. 10 years ago, on a night out, I could walk from one part of the town to the other part of town safe. So could my wife. She's done it 100 times as well. But like we're moving, like, people saying like we need to change things, but things are not being changed. It's for me personally, it's just getting worse and worse, you know. And,
is this, if you don't mind me asking, Sean, is this the migrant that a video went around recently of him trying to break into?
No. So that someone did say that to me. So this guy, I don't know. I don't know who this guy. Well, I do know who this guy is. You know, obviously my wife. Like I don't have much faith in the guards. Like, you know, and a lot of people don't. I'm not the only one to say that. Like, you know, my wife wanted to go to the guards because she said to me, she said, "Look, I don't want you to be getting into trouble, and I don't want," because her father, he would have killed him, and she don't want anyone that she loves to get into any trouble over this situation. So obviously she's put all her faith in the guards and for them to deal with it. Now the guard situation is another story, to be honest. Like, you know, but like I had the guy found within 3 days. You know, like, you know, with like the guard that was supposed to find him when I decided to go on a holiday instead. You know, the same week that I found him. I had all the details of the guy, where he walks, what height he is, his social media page, where he lives. I have everything. But all the guard that was interested about was where I got the CCTV from. He didn't care about the guy. He was more worried that someone gave me CCTV footage, than of who the person actually was that attacked my wife.
So Sean, I know you heard what me and Ger were talking about there about the community patrols, and we're going to launch the first one of these in Limerick on Friday at 7 o'clock. I think this would be important because the admin's there as well. Like you said, you found that person in 3 days. This would be an important thing as well to identify these people, because if the guards aren't interested in doing it, like what it sounds like you're telling me, then we have to look after our own. And
100%. 100%.
Yeah. So, and I hope a lot of people will turn out for that.
I hope so do I. And to be honest, I probably will be one to turn out. Well, actually, I won't, because I'm actually going away Friday. But I would have been.
You're on the holiday with that guard, are you, Sean?
Huh?
You go on holidays with that guard, are you?
No, I wish there was. He definitely went somewhere sunny. He did. But like I'd be like the thing that hurt me the most, like like my wife's from Limerick. She's born and bred Limerick woman. The thing that hurt me the most was I got CCTV of the corner where the accident happened, and I didn't see the accident. I didn't see the guy running. This was the first CCTV I got. I saw 4 people from Limerick walk past my wife while she was on the ground crying and bleeding. That hurt me more than the guy that hit her, because 20 years ago, say 15 years ago, if I saw a young lady on the floor bleeding because she thought being hit by someone, not in a million years would I walk past her. And I can count for all my friends and anyone that I know in Limerick would have done the same thing, would have said, Jesus, what's happening here? And gave my wife a bit of comfort, but my wife was left on the street. And it was sad because, to tell you what, it took me maybe 10 minutes to drive into town, maybe 5, because I did break a few red lights and stuff like that, because, to hear my wife screaming down the phone, asking me for my help, and to make it worse, the guy was with her when she was on the phone. He was screaming in the background.
This is the thing, Sean, where we're trying to bring back community. That's what it is. It's community patrol, community, everyone rowing together, like what Jer's doing there. Like, he's part of the community that has to take on the role of helping the homeless in our own out. This patrol as well is community, and unfortunately that's gone in Ireland. People don't talk to their neighbours anymore. They'd rather sit in and watch Netflix. And they do say, and what you said there, I think it's a Martin Luther King quote, that it's not the words of my enemies I remember, it's the silence of my friends. This is the type of thing that people are stepping over their own, and they don't care. They're just consumed with their own life. So I think
100%, yeah. Like, the community spirit's gone, the community spirit's, like, I see more people in neighbourhoods talk about their neighbours more than they support their neighbours now, Like, I own a business in Limerick, and to be honest, like, my business is well supported, like a lot of people in Limerick come into my business, but the people that would have been close to don't come to my business, It's a bit funny, it's a bit of a funny situation, And but I do find the community spirit in Limerick, well, I like to think it's still alive, to be honest, because but you can see kind of
the two of you here, like that video that I was referring to earlier on was something that happened in Limerick 2 weeks ago, and just want to know what you know about this, and is this kind of common occurrences going on?
I don't want to get fight, Can you let me out?
Yeah,
I saw that was in the morning.
Yeah, I just say that one of our volunteers that works with us, that was a relation of hers, her home. I think it was her nana's home. One of the volunteers that works with us, she filled us in and talked to us and stuff like that. The guards actually showed up, and he wasn't there when the guards came, but the neighbours were telling him what happened and stuff, and the guards kind of weren't interested when they were getting the details and stuff like that. There's an awful lot of things happening in Limerick that isn't being reported, and it's all over Ireland actually, but there's been a stabbing as well there. I think it was a couple of weeks ago, a fella got stabbed 7 times or something, and it didn't make the paper, didn't make the news. It was just, they were told to keep quiet and shoved it under the carpet. Where we have our own lads drinking, if they're drinking a bottle of cider or whatever on the corner, they're grabbed, arrested, charged, and through the court. Chances got Australia gone wrong when there are things like this happening and they're being ignored. So what can I send out the wrong message to the younger generations? If the guards are ignoring things like that, it's showing that it's acceptable in society when it shouldn't be. Doesn't matter if they're Irish or not, like, to me, but that video there shouldn't have been ignored. So I don't know if he was arrested later on or not. I don't know, but from
sorry, Joe.
Sorry, go on.
From that video, the thing, like, this is, like, I'm going back now. Like, the thing that I've noticed more is, like, if that happened 20 years ago, a neighbour would have came out. Someone would have came out and said, what's going on here? And then they would have woken up in there. But because at the end of the day, like anyone that has kids don't sleep properly at night because they got young kids, they're kind of listening out to make sure they're sleeping okay and stuff like that, So like most adults will they don't go into deep sleep. So you would hear someone outside banging windows and making a racket. If I was living next door to that old lady, and you know even old lady is living next door to you, you would have went out and said, what are you doing? This is like, we can't rely on the guards no more. The guards, look, I'm not saying they're useless, they have other priorities or whatever, but like if people start coming together and start looking after their neighbours, this stuff like this won't be happening as frequent as is, like,
Yeah, it's changing. Limerick's changing massively. You can see it, and it's shocking how fast you can see it as well.
No, it is. So there it is. There, everyone. There will be a patrol, coming this Friday in Limerick, and I think it's important. And Ger, I want to say fair play to you for everything you do in Limerick. One of the unsung heroes that are around the country that have to step up when the government don't do what they're doing, out of your own time, going out to these people. So fair play to you. And Sean, thanks very much for coming on and telling that story. I know it's your own personal story of what's going on with your wife there as well, but it's important because it just goes to show how much we need these patrols and how much we need the Irish people to look after their own, because the people in the government are not the Irish people. The Garda Síochána are not the Irish people. These aren't part of us anymore. These aren't our people.
No. I saw a video recently enough, and it was a woman doing interviewing with people, and the woman would ask people, she's like, if your country went to war tomorrow, would you fight? And the amount of people that said no was scandalous. Now, I'm not acting a big man. I'd be scared. I'd be petrified to go to war. But if I had to go to war for the safety of my kids, then I would. But when people are living in the country and are not willing to stand up for their country, then something's wrong. Something's after going wrong in Ireland big time, because especially with the Irish history that Ireland have, for a country that's fought for their whole lives, for their freedom, to be dealing with this now.
I remember being in Limerick, I'd say about 15 years ago, with a mate of mine in Limerick City. Great night out. I think we went to a band called the Pearly Whites. They were amazing. They were a great band. I think they're a wedding band. And as you said, like, Limerick was bustling, you know what I mean? Like, every street was bustling, you know what I mean? All Irish people nearly, you know what I mean? There was no foreigners, there was no messing, there was none of this. And as you said, 15, 20 years ago, your missus, if I'd have been passing by and seeing that, I'd have stopped and helped your missus. Now people take out their phones now and do videos and shit like that. The whole culture has swung way around, you know what I mean? We're not looking after each other anymore, you know what I mean? We're looking for clicks and clicks. That's what people do, you know what I mean? And that's the facts of it, really, isn't it?
Yeah. And I come in there 1 minute, and we have a thing going on as well. There was just kind of know how corrupt the system is as well. There was a certain person that was in court here in Limerick for a hit and run, and he received just a fine. You there?
Yeah, we just made you bigger. Go on, I just made you bigger. Go on.
No, he received just a fine. I got no jail sentence. He was married into I don't know, I think his uncle is a guard or something, I'm not sure. But he received a fine. I have the news article, I can send it to you.
And tell me, what happened to the person they hit?
He got a €100 fine. He got that young girl. She's dead.
She's dead. €100 fine. And I'd be right in saying that there was some relation to a member of the force for the accused person.
Yeah, he was. I don't know if he's married into to this or related somehow. I'm not sure, but there's some sort of link there. But he received €100 and no jail sentence or nothing. And there's a protest coming up. I think it's. I forget the date actually, but it's on. I think it's the 14th. I'm not sure. The 14th of this month. There's a protest coming up.
Well, you probably have on your Limerick Says No page, I'd imagine, Ger.
It's on Limerick Says No page and my Irish Lives Matter page as well.
Okay, so that's a good thing to note to everyone. Go to Facebook and follow the Irish Lives Matter page. And I appreciate. Thanks very much, Ger. Ger, I'll be seeing you next Friday. And Sean, hope to see you away. But thanks very much for coming on and telling your story. And it's very important for people to get into their patrols because we hope to be doing these in every county across the country. So it starts here. So everyone joined their group. Thanks very much, lads.
Sure, thanks. It was a pleasure.
Did Orla leave us? You're on mute, Paul, are you?
Oh, sorry, yeah, I am on mute. Sorry, what I was saying was if they send up the stuff onto us, we can put it out on the Tuesday and Thursday night show as well. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair play to them. Now, I have to say, fair play to them. Like, they're great stories. It's great to get people on, isn't it? Just yapping, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, they're people from the area.
And telling their stories, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And two good, in fairness to them, very nice guys. Jerry does a lot of work there. I've met Jerry a few times. He's a gentleman. And it takes a special person to go out doing them kind of things. So fair play. And to Sean as well, respect to him and his wife for getting their story out there. It's all for the greater good. It's their personal story and not everyone would like to hear it, but there it's said and well done. So again, 7 o'clock next Friday in Limerick. If you want to know more about it, you can see it on the Shinadina Facebook page. Follow that. There'll be more updates on that. Or like that as well, jump into your WhatsApp group. I'll put the link again in the comments. Find your own WhatsApp group. You'll see it through the announcements, what's happening. Very important. You don't rise to anything. You don't give them any ammunition. This is just looking after your own people.
Yeah.
And
you
getting
can
out there.
The show there too. WhatsApp 089 203 1521. As I said, I've been getting lots of people contacting me through that. And a few great ideas and everything else I'm getting off them for the show. And listen, it's good. The feedback is great, you know what I mean? So contact me on that 089 203 1521. That's it, if you can. Okay. Okay. What I had a few videos there to go with, but I don't know what really to go with. Okay. Have you heard the latest song from your man Tom? Is his name Tom? It's called Man in the Sky. Have you heard it?
No.
This is a whopper. I'm gonna play it now, right? This is a whopper, right? And I'm gonna play it till the end because everything is true that he's singing about. I think his name is Tom, so he's the most hated rapper in America because he's a real.
Is he actually Tom McDonald?
Tom McDonald, yeah, that's who it is, yeah.
He ran in South Kildare actually there, didn't he?
Not that Tom McDonald. It's a different Tom McDonald. But here, listen to this. Now it's 3 minutes, right? It's 3 minutes, but it's a brilliant watch.
There's a man on TV at a desk in a suit. He lies through his teeth and they still call it the news. And there's a man in a white coat whose medicine kills. He loves when you're sick cause you pay for his pills. There's a man at the bank who will give you a loan so that you'll buy a house and then he'll take your home. There's a man who wants you spending your life online cause you're searching for truth but controls what you find. We'll be fine, babe, if we don't make it through. There's a man in a church who I really hope told me the truth. Said there's a man in the sky watching over me and you. It don't help if you can fly, it's way past the moon. And there's men here on the ground that just wanna burn it down. They want money, they want power, don't want no one else allowed. We'll be fine, babe, I'll be the man for you. There's a man in a court sworn to uphold the law, but he's crooked as a fence post and don't do his job. There's a man in a classroom who should know the facts, but he's brainwashing kids, teaching English and math. There's a man in your phone who hears everything you say. He knows everywhere you go, every joke you ever made. There's a man with a bloodline that owns the whole world, every airplane and building and gold brick and pearl. We'll be fine, babe, if we don't make it through. There's a man in a church who I really hope told me the truth. Said there's a man in the sky watching over me and you. It won't help if you can fly, it's way past the moon. And there's men here
It's deadly, isn't it? It's a deadly tune now, I have to say. I really...
Look, it'll replace your usual tune about all the AI of everyone running the general election. You were hopping that out till last week, weren't you?
Oh, that one, yeah. No, I didn't do that this week, no. Didn't do that. I have to say, fair play to you. What you call it was the thing for the show, the intro for the show towards the night went down well. Thank you.
Oh yeah, did you use the intro? Yeah, for good stuff.
Yeah.
I was so busy with Zooms and all. This actually relates to this question that's going on here. Nationalist politicians are focused 100% on the refugee issue. Anthony, what's your ideas on health, economy, housing, education? That's what puts food on the table, important issues in life. See, this is a big part of what I've seen going wrong with the Irish Freedom Party. At the Ardèche, I wrote policy for energy. I wrote policy for a nursing bill, teachers bill, a homemakers bill. All these things that we were lacking, that we're missing the point on. Because when we went to the doors, people were upset about a number of factors.
Yeah.
In the new party, I won't be writing these policies. Experts will be writing these policies, and they're already lined up. So that's what it'll be. And wide awake experts as well. Teachers who have masters in teaching, who've left teaching because of the indoctrination going on. Doctors who've lost their practices over the last 5 years because of the scams going on. These are the people who'll be writing these policies. They'll be in committees. So that's what will be different about this party. It'll be very robust, very strong, but Indigenous Irish focused. Like, it is called Ireland First, and it will be the Irish First, because they're the ones getting done out of homes, they're getting done out of businesses, they're getting done out of everything. While other people come in here, they get their medical card, they get housed, they don't pay tax or insurance for their cars, they get away with doing God knows what. So it's very important. This party will also be able to bring in new policy in real time, not like other parties of the past where you can do it once a year. So I'll carry over them policies and let the experts work on them. So that's what we need. And we need, I'm not going to be screaming at protests. There's things that are going to be put out professionally. They're going to be well-spoken people putting them out there. So it's important. But make no mistake, it is for the Irish people. And these community watch groups as well, we're talking about this, Paul, that's all going to be part of it. Like, we'll be endorsing that. Conway's Farm, we're back to healthy foods again. We'll be endorsing that. There's a lot in it, and there'll be a Q&A very soon held on Spaces if anyone's on X, and people will be able to come on and ask the questions, and we'll give a bit more insight into it. There's still people coming on board, but yeah, looking forward to seeing what this can be. It's going to be big and honest. It's going to be Ireland's biggest viable opposition party.
Yeah.
Hope that answers the question there.
And if you remember, 6 months ago, the Irish Freedom Party was Ireland's biggest national party. You know? And look where we are now. You know what I mean? Like, there's six gone now. And there was 4 of us went, and there was 2 went between Thursday and Saturday. So what does that tell you? You know what I mean? So fair play, Jerry. Whatever Jerry said. I didn't see it. What was I going to go with? Have you seen the protests in Romania over the president has been voted in as president and the regime are trying to get rid of him? And here, watch this. Now there's a protest, eh? You know what I mean? Thousands of them there, thousands of them. Well, you don't get to see that on the mainstream media, you know what I mean? Because they don't want you seeing people are revolting in every country, you know what I mean? Like, Greece is the same. They're doing it in Greece as well at the moment, like, you know what I mean? It's just to show you now. Go on, you were saying about the farmer protests, sorry.
No, just across Europe you're seeing all the farmer protests, they're
crazy.
massive, and mainstream won't cover it because they're making people believe everything's well. And you know what? People don't know that the farmers are protesting because all the nitrates. The farmers can't make a living in this country. They can't turn over a profit, and they're being told, kill off your cattle for $5,000 a piece, and they're doing it, and they're buying out their land. They're buying out land around here. I'm in a place called McGaney in Kildare, and the farmers are selling their land so that they can become PV fields, all panels. Is that what you want? Yeah, is that how you want your country to look? It's a disaster.
Yeah, but I drove out to Ratoath there one of the days, and I came in the back way from Ratoath, and it used to be a field full of mace, that's what it was. And you used to see the plastic going down, and you'd see it coming on, and then you'd see a harvesting. I used to come in that way going to work, and when I drove over there a couple of weeks ago, it's just fields upon fields of them bleeding, them
solar panels.
Them solar panels, yeah, it looks disgraceful. Like, it really does.
Yeah, it's horrible.
As far as the eye can see from the bridge, like it's, where's that fuel gone?
It's by design. Like, it's going to be so unprofitable to keep a farm going that will offer them to slaughter their cows under the climate change. This whole thing. Your cows, and that's why they're putting the stuff in the milk. That's just to make people sick. That's nothing to do. They want to get rid of your cows. But it's Ireland is taking a really, really wrong road, and if you're not believing me, then you're not woken up to the whole thing. It's going on a while.
It's going on a long, long time, yeah. But we spoke about the triple lock earlier, and we spoke about Conway. I just want to show. I'm going to speak about this fella. Hazim Malaki. We've all heard about this guy that RTE rolled out on Thursday night as a Palestinian refugee who's sleeping in a car with his family, and he went on crying on RTE. I'm just going to play this, and this guy has really nailed it. Like, you know what I mean? So here we go.
Like I don't deserve to live because I couldn't provide for my family a place to live, and it's not fair, and I can't help them. I feel helpless, hopeless. I'm left alone for this struggle, and no one is looking at us with a heart or an eye of mercy. For God's sake, I don't know why they're leaving us till now.
It's bullshit.
Meet Hazim Malika. Hazim was platformed by Irish state broadcaster RTE News yesterday, February 26, 2025. In a liberal bleeding heart's empathy-laden piece, Hazim blasted the Irish political elite for leaving him, his wife and at least 2 daughters homeless and sleeping in a car, allegedly. Truth is, and it is that, Hazim has been living in South Africa from at least 2012 onwards. On May 27, 2012, the South African Sunday World ran a story about a famous football star, Mark Batchelor, being stabbed by none other than Hazim Malika, then aged 27. If you notice in RTE's piece, they don't bother providing an age for Hazim. Hazim and everything about him suggests he is egotistical, narcissistic and a successful con man that has established quite the fortune. As with all narcissists, they must display themselves publicly and boast of their image, their wealth, their globetrotting, their lavish lifestyle, and Hazim is no different, and his platform of choice is Instagram. Hazim has posted nearly 800 times on his profile since 2016, and it is a treasure trove of valuable information. His first post confirms for us that he once again resided in South Africa from at least September 2016 onwards. And within a year of that first post, he was telling his followers, and I quote, "It's time to focus on expanding the numbers of shop's business. Let's get big." And what business is it that Hazim is involved in? Barbers. Goodfellas barbers, to be precise. He's a savvy businessman, clearly, and not shy of a few quid. Goodfellas barbers have multiple outlets across South Africa. Hazim truly does think of himself as an untouchable gangster playboy sort. Across his Instagram are various images of him at firing ranges, sporting a wide range of firearms from pistols through to machine guns. His other passion is bodybuilding, where he has entered competitions in India, South Africa and Egypt also. Hazim sought donations in April of last year via a GoFundMe that is visible on his Instagram. That fundraising appeal lasted right through to December last, where South African news outlet The Southern Star ran a piece where he was mentioned. and once again he employed the victim card and spoke of how oppressed he and his family are. Hazim seems to have arrived in Irish Shores around June of 2024, where he took images at Glendalough in County Wicklow. He couldn't have been that low on money, as I mentioned, as his fundraising was still ongoing on the other side of the planet in Africa. Hazim has also made a claim that one of his children, a daughter, was injured in an Israeli mortar attack in Gaza. He claimed she suffered burns to her face, amongst other injuries, and yet in the footage on RTE yesterday and across his Instagram, there isn't as much as a scratch on any of the young girls visible in the images. Why did the RTE journalists not question this? Emma O'Kelly, are you complicit in this NGO propaganda piece? Seems very suspicious. In my personal opinion, he is an incredibly dangerous individual with a propensity towards violence, as is evidenced by his assault on a football star with a pair of scissors, and has a passion for firearms and an unhinged support for Palestine also. Hazim conducted his interview with RTE dressed in a Moncler puff jacket, which retails at €1,500, and I would love to know where he got his right-hand drive car from also. It certainly wasn't in Gaza. If you enjoyed this video, give it a retweet. Quick thank you to Peter Paul Guy also on X for the information too. Thank you for watching.
You know what I mean? This is RTE again. It's ridiculous, like, isn't it? You know, the shite that they can throw out and people watch. Like, how many people's heartstrings did that pull on the other night? You know, seriously, like they really are the propaganda arm of the state, because I remember not Eddie Hobbs, what was your man's name? That little Cork fella done an interview from Cork here during COVID, and like after that interview, like the amount of people who went and got injected was just unnatural. Like, I know what I mean. What was his name? Joe O'Shea. That's his name. Little Cork shithead. Yeah, but he called everyone out as far right and racist and anti-vaxxers and the whole lot. And I know loads of people who went and got vaccinated because of what he says. You know what I mean? So, you know, RTE really are state propaganda. You know what I mean? We had Moussa Dougan last year as well, a known terrorist, you know, being wheeled out as well. And when we called them out, we were far right. So it's ridiculous, isn't it? Like, I sent off a thing. We sent off hundreds, probably thousands of things into RTE, and we got back stuff. So we had to send back other stuff. So a lot of us did put in a complaint. So we'd see, does she retract any of this after seeing this? You know what I mean? I doubt it, but we'd see.
Yeah. Look, it's nonsense. I don't even watch RTE. Can't listen to it on the radio. We need our own radio station, our own TV station, so we don't have to listen to this trash, you know. So we're trying to do here, Paul, isn't it? A bit of real news.
Well, basically, that's what we're trying to do, yeah. And I was actually talking to a guy earlier, and he was talking to me about it, about expanding it a little bit, you know, and seeing what we can do, you know, the sort of way. So, yeah, we'll see, you know what I mean? But, like, we need to be getting out. Like, I think we've 1,100, I think, watching us now at the minute. Yeah, we've 1,100, yeah. So, you know, we need to be expanding it to over 2,000, say, you know what I mean? Like, we did lose a lot with the Irish Freedom Party. We used to get 1,000 every week on that, you know what I mean? Well, hey. And you know what baffles me is, we used to get 1,000 Irish Freedom Party members on this, yeah, every Sunday night. Yet, they do a space with Ciara Connolly, and they only get 242 or something like that.
55 on the last Sunday when I went down.
Yeah, but I think Ciara shares it out to hers as well. Yeah, I think so.
Well, look, Paul, you know, there'll be a new party to drill it out there soon. So we'll be back up the numbers, and there's more shows to come. I think there'll be great stuff coming up. You know, all will be revealed in time. But look, I think we're going to get big and strong.
Yeah, I think we will. I think we get more shows on board and the whole lot. Like, we're doing a couple now. I'll get Jerry Waters back on now shortly, and get Trust the Science back on again. But we need to be doing sort of a sit down, if we could, you know what I mean? With, you know, sit down and talk to someone for half an hour or so, you know, that sort of way.
Yeah, but what's good as well, though, Paul, is you look at on Friday when we're talking about the protests and stuff like that. Like, the great thing is that we can go live from there, you know, the patrol in Limerick. Like, that's the thing, like, you know, Ireland Live can go live from there, and we can shoot it out, and people will know where to look for it. And
yeah, exactly.
If there is stuff happening, we can get out there, and, you know, at least it's the truth, it's the honest truth, you know. You get to hear from people on the ground.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's crazy. But Did I get the Git? I don't know whether I got the Git this week. The Git got something on this week. Have you seen? They're all talking about Putin and Trump and what they're going to do, and we're going to have European armies. And watch this video. I'd say Putin is shitting himself. I'd say Putin's army are actually shitting themselves now, I'm being honest, like, you know what I mean? Come on, lads.
Is that real, like, Paul, is it?
That's real. That's the European armies doing some sort of a TikTok shite. Come on, like, you know what I mean, lads? You're supposed to be soldiers.
You'd think this is a movie, wouldn't you? You'd think this stuff
man, it's like soldiers are supposed to be, not, you know what I mean? Come on, lads. You know what I mean? Like, that looks so... It's like the
people are saying it's like,
exactly,
it is.
Yeah,
remember that? Exactly like that.
Because they're trying to justify this war in Ukraine. Europe is trying to justify this war. Trump's having nothing to do with it. And he's told you, man, he's pulling out of there. He'll pull out of NATO too, I'm telling you now. And they'll be left on their Sweeney. You know what I mean? That's what's going to happen. But Europe are pushing for it. You know what I mean? Like, listen, Ukraine, that was all a setup. Like, come on, lads. 2014, this is going on since. You know what I mean? It's not... This didn't just start in 2022, like, you know what I mean? Come on. You know what I mean?
Like, these are our proxy wars, you know, like, oh no, all of a sudden we've been banging the drum about Palestinians. Now we may take them all in, lads, you know. We had GE out waving the flag. No. And look, don't get me wrong, you know, whatever's going over there and happening there, you know, is its own thing. I'm not getting into it because I'm just focusing on Ireland, but the way we've been unneutral, you know, our politicians have spoken for us, and now we owe it to, like, people won't take these in. Like, these are more Muslims coming into our country, and we have nowhere to put them. We've nowhere for our own kids to go to school. No doctor's appointments here, no hospital appointments. People are in trolleys. They were already, and the government is have to give themselves a pay rise there, the TDs this week. I put it in, wow, as if it wasn't corrupt enough, and someone heckled me on it. What do you mean corrupt? Like, but you didn't see the homelessness record numbers. You didn't see the fact that our kids have nowhere that they can buy for a home.
They're shipping out all of our kids. That's the thing.
Yeah, like, there's a hike on fuel now, electricity and gas again. People barely getting by. What do you mean? Where's the corruption? Bizarre what people think.
Corruption is everywhere. It's everywhere. You know. Put a post on Facebook, the history of Ukraine, and nobody acknowledged it. Yeah, like, your man does a great one. Like, I'd tell everyone to go and look at it. What's his name? The American dude. I think he done one last week. What's his name? Yeah, let me see. You know, he talks about what's his bleeding name? I forget his name. But he talks about how they moved closer to Russia and the Minsk agreement and the whole lot, and this is what happened. And he told them in the European Parliament last week, you know what I mean? And that's what he spoke about, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's really crazy, like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna just go with, I'll tell you what I'm gonna go with, right? I'm gonna go with Elon Musk spelling it out about George Soros and the NGOs, how they do their dirty deeds.
It's kind of a hack to the system where, you know, someone can get an NGO stood up for a fairly small amount of money. Like, George Soros was really good at this. Like, George Soros is like a system hacker. Like, he figured out how to hack the system. He's a genius at arbitrage. I mean, these days he's pretty old, but a genius at arbitrage. So he figured out that you could leverage a small amount of money to create a nonprofit, then lobby the politicians to send a ton of money to that nonprofit, so you can take what might be, you know, a $10 million donation to a nonprofit to create a nonprofit and leverage that into $1 billion NGO. And a nonprofit is a weird word. It's just a non-governmental organization and then the government continues to fund that every year, and it'll have a nice sounding name like the Institute for Peace or something like that. But really, it's a graft machine.
And what are the requirements with that money? What do they have to do?
Just really no requirements at all.
So they just get grants and the government just assumes that they're doing good work.
I think a lot of people in the government know that they're not doing good work, but it's a giant graft machine.
Wow. This is how they do it. It's crazy, like, he's at the finding trillions of dollars there, like, over the last month.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Money
the exact
laundering.
same operation in Ireland. It's true. It really
Yeah.
is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's amazing what's
Crazy.
going on.
Yeah.
It's hard to even keep up with it all, Paul, but you have to
who are you
know,
telling?
write it down.
I know. Tell me about it. But I thought Orla was going to come back up, but she's not. So let me just let's just talk about these three Ginny Joes for a minute. I'll share this. Yeah. 3 Kerry TDs declare having contracts from provision of refugee accommodation. The Registry of Interest of TDs that was published this week. 3 of the 5 sitting TDs for Kerry have declared they have contracts with the Department of Children Equality and surely that has to be a conflict of interest if you're making legislation for this.
Of course, yeah.
It has to be. The same way as the Minister for Education's husband, the Minister for Education who makes legislation for kids and puts stuff through the classes, this LGBT shite and the whole lot, just so happens that her husband is the marketing director of AbbVie that makes puberty blockers. Well, surely that's another conflict of interest. Are people not seeing this?
Like, it's crazy, Paul. Like, they're all complicit. The guards are complicit here in Carlow, I've been told, allegedly. The TDs you look at Dundrum Townhouse, there's a lot of paperwork there. Scary stuff going on in this country. People wouldn't even be able to hack if you told them.
Yeah.
But
it's true.
Look, there'll be ways and means of putting all the information out there.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think we just check a couple of comments there before we go. Zelensky was called out on the murder of American journalist who was murdered for telling the truth. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, I used to follow that guy. God will take care of that evil man. Yeah. No one wants peace. I want peace. I want peace. Stop calling them Garda, they are state security. And 0, I still point with my dog, or Argentinian American pit bull died, pure white, big dogs. Sorry to hear about your dog dying there now for now. But Anthony, listen, we'll drop you down for a minute and I'll come back down and talk to you in a few minutes. Fair play to you. Great night tonight.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for having the lads on, and thanks for the lads for coming on. And I'll talk to you in a few minutes. But there's the Shinanadina Community Patrol starts.
Yeah.
Limerick, Friday the 7th at 7 p.m. Yeah, fair play. Sorry, go ahead. Try get down. Yeah, we will try and get people down, don't worry. So, yeah, as we say, we've hit 1,200 there, people. Fair play to you. It's no good sharing now and going off. But fair play to you. Thanks very much. But, yeah, if you can, please come to the Shinanadina on Friday at 7 p.m. Aaron Wilson, good night and God bless. As I say every Sunday night, the truth is like a lion. You don't have to defend it. You just let it loose and it will defend itself. Good night and God bless.